Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to, I forget what class number this officially is at this point. It is about 12:30 at night, and so let me explain what just happened here. Um, I have tried numerous things just to get this to work, uh, and I've eventually, basically, I rebooted my entire computer. I complete factory reset it, and I'm in the process of re-downloading all the stuff that I used to have. I, for some reason, now have two hard drives, one for Macintosh HD, one for Macintosh HD Data. I don't know why. There's nothing in Macintosh HD Data, but it's there now. I've completely factory reset this just so that I could finally record the programs. I don't know if Zoom meetings are going to work yet. I have not re-downloaded Zoom yet. But for the time being, I believe that this could be a suitable way for those of you that cannot do the text-based tutorials. I'm sorry, my brain is fried right now. I've literally been doing this for like the better part of 12 hours today, just troubleshooting all this. Uh, this would be a visual demonstration. So, as you can see up here at the top, we're in Adobe Photoshop 2021. Now, all the Adobe 5 products have generally the same sort of concepts and problems. So, when I say this about one of them, I'll say this about all of them. First thing you want to do when you create new, the first thing you want to do is save it. So we're going to use a default Photoshop size right here just to go and create something, and I'll hit create. Right now it's currently set to Untitled 1. You don't know how many times I have Untitled 1, Untitled 2, Untitled 3. Always be in the process of naming a file. So after you hit create on something and it's going to load up once it feels like loading, the very first thing you want to do is go under File and Save. And we're going to save as. And where are we going to save this? We're going to save this on my computer right now because I don't really want to trust the opening up cloud documents. So I'll save this on my computer. And what I'm going to go, and it's going to, once it feels like loading, because it's going to take its sweet time because it's Adobe. Adobe products are resource intensive. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and say, where am I going to save it to? Well, fine, I'll save it to my Creative Cloud files, but rename it. Don't have it be named Untitled 1. So I'll name this Class Example Version 4, in case anyone realized what version of this video I was doing. So, anyway, and then save it, and then boom, here we are. This is what Photoshop looks like. If you do not have something that looks like this, go up to the top on Window, and you will find a thing that says, Workspaces. It's under the Essentials. If you want something else entirely, you can just click each and every little tiny thing that you can do and want and find out. General rule of thumb, your tools are on the left-hand side. The stuff you can change about items that you click on will be on the right-hand side. There's also stuff on the top here. We're not going to go too in-depth into Photoshop because this is an animation class. Why am I showing you Photoshop for an animation class? Well, because I really want you to understand layers. Layers are down here at this bottom right corner right there. Okay, and right now it says background. Now, for this assignment, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a couple of layers of, graphics, and we're going to have a couple of layers of text. And we could just grab a file from a picture from a website, click it and drag it in. We're not, that's easy enough to do. We're not going to do exactly that. I'm not going to show you what you should do. This is not a follow me step-by-step thing. This is just here's something you could do. It's not necessarily the only answer to this problem, because the problem itself is quite vague. I need, X number of layers of visual design. I need X number of layers of text. And that's really all there is to it. And make something that looks nice. So, first things first, I'm going to just go over here and hit this little plus button, make a new layer. You see how it says layer 1 here at the bottom corner? I'm not sure if you guys, my mouse is being caught by this recording as well, but I'm literally circling the layer 1 in a bottom right corner. I click it again, it now says layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5. Much like your file type, never ever leave your layers as layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. Because you can imagine what happens when you get to layer 26, 27, 28, 29, 132. Yeah, it's going to be annoying figuring out what everything is. So double click your layer on the text, and we're going to rename this. And considering we're Wilmington University here, I'm going to make this a green background, okay? I'm going to make this a green background. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move now over to my tools. Now, all these tools have certain little things. Like there's the move tool, there's the marquee tool, there's the lasso tool, so on and so forth as I hover them over. I'm going to just go right to this gradient tool here that says G, but if I click and hold it, you'll see that I don't actually just have the gradient tool option. I have a paint bucket tool and that. And it's the same thing with everything. If I go to the move tool, I have a move tool or an artboard tool. I have a lasso, polygon lasso, magnetic lasso. I have a brush, pencil, mixer brush, so on and so forth. So if I click and hold, I can switch from gradient to paint bucket. I could also keep hitting the G key, and in theory it should keep switching between the modes. Okay, I obviously don't have that set up in my preferences. I guess it's somewhere in my preferences I can have it set up to do that. And I can just go and fill in a paint bucket. And right now I've changed my white background to a black background. But I don't want a black background, I want a green one. So I can go over here to the top right with color. If you don't have color, you can always go under the window tab at the top, go and click color. Or I can go swatches, whatever, if I want a specific type of red RGB color, if we're doing, film, CMYK, if we're doing print. You know what, I'm going to say it's a print ad, so I'm going to grab that green. And now you'll notice in the bottom left here, where there's this green cube and a white cube, squares, now my color is green. My foreground color is green. So I click it, now I have a green background. And that's all I'm going to do on this particular layer. So I'm going to go make sure I have my layer selected over here in the bottom right, and I'm going to click this lock. This lock literally locks everything. I could lock some other stuff specifically, but I'm just going to lock everything. Just keep it simple. It's not a Photoshop course. This is just to get you to understand the concept of layers and what we're going to be adding to this. Okay? So there we go. We got ourselves a green background. But obviously, that's, not just one thing. I want to do some other stuff. So let me make, I'll make a gradient overlay. I'll name that guy gradient overlay. So I'll go back to my gradient tool here, clicking and holding, click gradient. And now I don't want black, I don't want green here, I want black. So let me switch this guy and let me just go. I can either double click it and drag it all the way down to black. I could literally type in the 0000000 if I want to do a hex key, in case anyone here knows hex keys colors. Or of course I could always go to the swatches, so on and so forth. I also, if I have, a different color, I can always just shortcut the button D, and it will switch it to black and white, the two things. So no matter what I have, if I have pink, and then I switch it over and I have cyan, if I hit the D button, it switches it back to black and white. It'll default to that. So I will go and I'll grab down to here, and now I have a black to white gradient. Now you notice my black to white gradient completely overshadowed my green background. And that's what layers do. Any layer that is on top will obscure anything that's underneath. So if you want something visible, it needs to be on top. So you see if I click and drag this gradient overlay and make it underneath my green background, now my green background shows up, but my gradient overlay is completely gone. So I'll move this back up top, and now my green background is completely gone, but my gradient overlay is right here. So how do I fix this? Because I want to see my gradient overlay, and I want to see this green background. Well, that's where you have modes here. You can either change the opacity, so maybe I can make this only 40%, or maybe 53% or 51 or 50. Now it's going from like a light green to a dark green up top. At the same time, I can also go and hit this thing that says normal, and I can go to maybe dissolve, or color burn, or darken, or multiply. And I actually quite like this color burn. It has this nice little green, dark green up top, and a lighter green up bottom. Maybe I should do that. Oh, well, linear burn actually does create a little bit more of a blended horizon. So I'll just do a linear burn there. Boom. And now I have, and I'll lock that layer, and now I have two graphical layers that are both completely, it creates a nice little image here. I'll add another layer, and I'll just name this one, I'll name this, I don't know, my white bar. Why not? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my marquee tool, and I'm sorry if I'm speaking too fast, just go back a couple of seconds and rewatch the video. I'm moving up to the tool area over here, grabbing the marquee tool, the hotkey is M. I'm going to get myself a rectangular marquee tool, and I'll just grab, I'll say that area right there. And now what that means is that this area right here is the only area that I can draw on or edit with this dancing ants. So if I were to go with my brush tool here, and I start, drawing something around, drawing some lines on it, you notice my lines always stop at the end of the dancing ants. I will do Command Z to undo that. That's just for demonstration purposes. I will grab white now, because I said this was going to be a white bar. And you know what? I'll go back to my paint bucket tool here, and I'll just paint that in. Now I have myself a white bar at the bottom. I quite like my white bar, and I will lock that. And while I'm at it, let me make this a shape. I don't know, what do I want? I want a pentagon? Yeah, I'll get a pentagon. I'll make this a pentagon. So I will go over to my shape layer. Oh, that's the rectangle tool. Oh, yeah, that's you. Draw rectangles. Yeah, so I can do rectangle, ellipse, triangle, polygon. I will grab a polygon, and up here at the top, I have, an option. I can do 5 sides, so there's a pentagon right there. I can also do rounded. I can do some rounded edges. Let's do a pentagon with 10 pixels rounded edges. So now, boop. Now I have myself a pentagon right there. I've got myself a pentagon. And you know what? Since I have my pentagon selected, I can have window. Where's the stroke? I know I can change the stroke options on this. Okay, maybe it's under appearance. Worst case scenario. If you see, this is part of the reason why I hate the information layout in these things. Some of these panes don't show you everything you need to know. You just still need to click and drag down. So over here on the right-hand side, I was only seeing this much information for the transform. But if I click and drag that scroll window down, now I've got other options on the stroke. So I can make the stroke maybe, 34 pixels big. And I can make it dotted lines. There we go. And you know what? I'll change it to yellow. There we go. And why not? Let me just make this something that actually seems a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. Let's just make it a nice even 20. Does 20 work? 20 works well enough. So, and there we go. And I can just change stuff about it like that. Now you'll notice some of the information you'll find over on the right-hand side could also be found when I clicked on the item, like up here before I drew it. Yeah, they like to put information multiple places. You will find that's the same situation of every Adobe product. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to do everything. So if you're not comfortable with the way I'm showing you, there's other ways to do it. And you know what? I will, actually, I'm going to select all. So Command A. Oh, come on. Make sure I have the layer selected first, or else I can't grab anything. So select A. Command A. Come on. I can't Command A? Can I copy? Copy paste? No. Okay. Fine. I will right click and I will go and where is duplicate? Duplicate layer. Boop. Duplicate layer. And there's the pentagon copy. Boom. Now I have a pentagon copy that I can move around. I will lock my previous pentagon and I will hit Command T for free transform. And I will just rotate you a little bit, and I'll shrink you down. Why not? There we go. You are, and I'll click and drag your handles around a little bit, make it so that you Yeah, there we go. That's a nice visual design, why not? Once again, I'm showcasing just stuff you can do. It doesn't mean this is something you have to do. You don't have to make pentagons. You can grab pictures off the internet and click and drag them in here. I'm just showing you different techniques of things you could do, not something you have to do. And now I've got, if you've noticed, just with this, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different layers. I have 5 different layers right here just in this image. And so now let's grab some text. So I'll click the little text bar over here. I can do, oh, come on. No, it's always the text tool. The text tool always wants to just take a little while to load. I'll tell you the reason why. It's because there's so many 500 bajillion different types of fonts that are in the thing and all the different languages. Like, you buy a computer and it has Klingon on it as well, in case you really want to use a Klingon dictionary. I can't really imagine many situations in this school where I would ever need to use that, but it's there, wasting space. And I click and it'll automatically put in lorem ipsum. But, I'm going to put the College of Technology. And as you can see, I right now have teeny tiny black text on a dark green background. So how about I highlight that and make a few adjustments. First and foremost, let me change this from 12 point to, 36? 36 seems good. And then let me go over here and maybe I'll change it to yellow. There we go, and I'll move it right there. Why not? So now you'll notice in my layer, any text layer I make automatically has it right there, College of Technology. So now let me make another text layer. And this time, and it remembers what I did before, so I'll say we have ourselves some computer labs. And I don't really want this to be the same thing, so how about I change you back down to, say, 18, and I will make you white text. Or if anyone remembers hex keys, pure white is FFF. And then I will also put another text line over here. Oh, okay, come on. There we go. If need be, click the move tool and click somewhere else. It'll get you out of the tool you're currently in, if need be. We also have ourselves Mac and PC. We also have ourselves Cybersecurity Team. And we also have ourselves, we do some game jams. Game jams, there we go. And then also, let me just put another line of text right here. And I'll say apply now. And oops, I got white text on on a white background. Gee, if only I could have figured that out very easily. I wonder if I did that on purpose. So let me just go and grab this eye. Now, here's the thing. When selecting a color, this is the same as the eyedropper tool. I could have literally just hit like E for eyedropper, but I could also just click on the outside and just go and click one of those guys. Click the color, and then, boop, there we go. So now it's and maybe I should probably make that also 36. There we go. And now I've got myself a sign, and it looks kind of like this, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to click all of these layers. Also, I don't need layer 5. Layer 5 doesn't need to exist right now. Delete layer 5? Yes, I don't need that. I'm going to go and click all of these, holding shift and selecting them all. Up at the top here is different alignment tools. So I can all left align them. Boop, now they're all left aligned. And much again, there's more options here. So click the dots. I'm going to distribute the spacing here. Actually, I don't want to distribute the spacing of those guys. I just want the white ones. There we go. So I'll grab those guys, distribute their spacing. There we go. And now you see it. Now it's evenly spaced in between. And I have myself generally something to take a look at. And it's given 15 minutes of time. And I was able to make something. And you know what? I'm going to make something a little bit better, because I'm going to make this a tree. I feel like there's just not much happening right here at the bottom right. So I'll just, grab myself a rectangle tool, and I will do that. Then I'll also grab myself another rectangle tool, and I'll free transform that, move it around, and boop. And of course, as always, I might not like the fact that that is kind of crunched together there, so boop, there we go. Boop, there we go. That's a little bit better looking now. It looks like it's meant to be there. So, anyway, now, once we're happy with whatever it is we want to do, we lock it. Everything, we're happy with it. Remember to go to File, Save, always save your work, click OK. Now, what I want is this PSD file. When you save it, it'll save as a PSD, a Photoshop document. If you make a really, really big file, it'll be a PSB for Photoshop board. You really shouldn't have that happen because we're not using multiple we're not using multiple pages in this. So, in theory, no one here for this first assignment is going to get to a PSB file. But if you do get something large enough, it will automatically tell you, hey, this file is too big to save as this, it'll save as this instead. So, once you get something that looks kind of nice, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of text, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 images. Obviously, I've gone a little, already in this assignment, I've gone above and beyond what the actual physical requirement is as far as the assignment goes. So, the entire point, once again, was just to understand what layers are, these things in the bottom right, and how they work. Because we're going to be working with layers throughout the entirety of After Effects. So, once you get something that you like, save it, submit it, send it in, and it'll be going to grading. So, I'll be trying to do a video like this for every single assignment, not counting the ones that are just like, hey, take a quiz, or hey, watch this video and tell me what you think. Though those don't really require videos. Anything that requires something that you're making, anything that we're creating, I'll show you possibilities of what to do. And hopefully that will help everyone out for those people that do not like the text tutorials. So, I'm sorry this took so long to get through. You cannot believe the numerous things I had to do, all the hoops I had to jump through, just to get to this point. So, thank you all very much, and I will see you in the next video. I plan on making the next couple of them tomorrow, or when I wake up, so yeah, we will do that. And that should get us for this week and next week going, so I'll have a little bit of a buffer zone to get some stuff in. So, my apologies for everyone that I sent an email to saying, hey, give it a few hours, I'll post a video. I was trying. I was really trying. And, yeah. So far, this is actually working quite well. As long as this saves and I can send it through Canvas, well, you'll know because you'll see it there. So thank you very much. You guys have a great day when you see this, and hopefully anyone that needed help, this has helped you. Please give me some feedback on the announcements, send me messages, emails, anything you'd like me to improve or go over again, that sort of stuff. Please let me know. Thank you very much. You have a great day.